on, Gas. You promised. You remember? I did your chores for a week and let you pick the restaurant twice. We agreed you let me pick this time. Besides, it's not my fault Bloaties is temporarily closed. I'm not the one who called the health department.
I know you didn't. That's why you're still breathing. But if I ever find out who did, they are going to pay.
And I'm paying, so I should pick the restaurant.
You found money in one of Dad's coat pockets in the closet.
A coat he hasn't used in months. Besides, if I didn't, we'd still be fighting over that one orange in the fridge. I can't believe Dad forgot to get groceries again this month.
I can. Fine. I guess it's better than nothing.
This looks like a pretty good place. A little weird looking, though.
You think everything is weird.
Wasn't this place smaller on the outside?
Good evening. How would you like to try our succulent special? Everything delight. It has everything in it.
Okay.
Splendid. One of everything delight. Tinkle, tinkle, tinkle.
Okay, maybe that's a little weird.
Thank you. Was that so hard to admit?
Don't let it go to your head. Just pay the man.
Oh no. This order is a free. On the house. Special one-day promotion. Thank you. Come again.
Cool. Free food. Let's go home.
Boy, this bag is heavy.
All right, hello everybody. Welcome to the live stream. Sorry about that delay there for a second. I just had to get the get OBS working again. How's everyone doing? Everyone who's watching right now, that is. How are you guys doing? Hope you're doing all right. I'm just working some more on It Feeds on Noodles. So as you can see right here, I have made some progress in the meantime since last week, where it was all just sketchy and stuff. Like, I've done work on the backgrounds. I've gotten the rough structure down for the buildings and the sidewalk and stuff. And yeah, that's where we're at right about now. You know, here. So yeah, not a lot going on besides that. And today I figured I would just continue on the project where I'm at right now, which is with, you know, getting things drawn in and all that jazz. So I'll put that back up to a brighter color so it's easier to identify. Yep, so Zim dives in, tackles Div, jumps away. Yada, yada, yada. We can reanimate these characters anyways when the time comes, because they're kind of off course for right now. Let me, in fact, hide them for the time being. Yeah, okay. Anyways, so working on the environment, working on the set pieces just to get things moving. So, yeah, that's it. Let me get right to it. I already drew the sidewalk here just fine. Next up, the buildings. That's right. That's what I was working on. The foreground buildings right here. And I have right here, if you can see, it might be hard to tell, but up here I have oh, hang on. I minimized everything by accident. My bad. Ah, now I've opened Audacity. Okay. Anyways, I was going to say right up here I have the two little two little still images from the previous shots, so I can refer to that as far as what the context looks like for continuity's sake, making sure everything stays similar and stuff. Yeah. So, anyways, let me get back to that. All right. Cool. Actually, for now, I want to just stretch it out a little bit bigger. So we have the cracks in the sidewalk, the trash can. I'll have to draw the trash can on top of the sidewalk as its own separate layer later on. The building details. Okay, so next up, I'm going to get rid of this filling. Boom. And let me dive right back into extending these out and making these look better. So, not going to follow the perspective lines 100%, but I am going to do it close enough that it's passable, basically. So, let me just highlight you and drag this down to roughly right there. Heck, I'll leave it alone. No one's going to look at this for very long anyways. In fact, I could just leave those flat, just for the sake of expediency. I know it's cutting a little bit of a corner, but I don't think anyone's going to care. And then as for there's that purple building there with these lines on it, and then everything else is just kind of unknown. It hasn't been viewed in any great detail in this shot, so technically I could get away with just, not doing a whole lot of detail work, especially because it's the background, right? I mean, no one's going to be looking this far in the background with, this stuff is on screen for, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 frames. That's not even half a second. Heck, that's a quarter of a second, okay? So, it's not going to be that big of a deal. I'll just leave that as minimally detailed, just enough to get the idea across, but that's about it. Choose your battles, Now, I'm not going to leave them as strictly just grids. I'll have, maybe these windows will be like this, these will be like this. Something to that effect. Maybe giving these a little bit more rows of detail work. Like that. Maybe this building I could have it set up like that, and then this one maybe just tall windows for this building. Just change it up a little just to make it have a little more variety. But apart from that, nothing too crazy. Nothing that I have to refer back to later with any degree of definitive detail work. This will save me from having to be overly analytical of future shots if the camera ever pans back this way, which I don't think it will. But, it's better to not put myself in a corner like that. Anyway, so that's where we're at right now. Let me see here. Double doors down there, let's pretend. Get rid of that bottom row, these. Like that. Cool, and just like that, we've got some interesting looking building shapes there that I can color in later. Most of it's off screen anyways. So, heck, why don't I just do that right now? Why don't I just show where it cuts off? Yeah, and that's where the camera cuts off. I don't even need to draw anything that's past this line. That'll save me from shading and stuff later. That'll save me a huge hassle. I'm trying to incorporate a lot more of a work smarter, not harder mentality into my workflow, considering it's just a volunteer project. I don't want to... And it's for my wife. She knows that she's doing all the work on it and stuff, so she cares more about the finished product than the minutia of things that aren't even going to show up on camera. So, yeah, that's where we're at right now. I wonder, though, if I could... Yeah, I think I should draw in a door here, at least, to get a rough, quick visual representation of a door. There. And I'll do the same thing over here on these other buildings, just for the sake of saying, yes, there's doors there. It's not the best, but it doesn't have to be, is the thing. Actually, I'll just outline that door. Boom, that looks kind of interesting. All right, cool. So there's some doors and stuff. We'll draw lampposts on their own layer. I'll just put them on the same level as this and the depth, and as far as depth goes, just so that it moves with the camera properly. And right here, get rid of those and those. There. That looks more like an interesting building shape. I could get behind that. Okay, cool. So those buildings are fully outlined now, properly. We'll rotate this way, and these can all be in their own detail work later on. What I'm going to do now is flatten that, commit to it, and should I add detail? I don't think I'll add detailing yet. I'll save that for after I've shaded everything. Right now, I'll just work with flat colors just to get a rough idea of where everything is going to wind up being. I think that's for the best. So, cement, that would be here. And then we got the bricks, of course, would be right here. I've been in the bad habit in the past of doing detailed work up front, and it sometimes results in, well, not in the look that I want, let's just say. So I find that by doing the detail work on the back end, it'll save me a lot of hassle when it comes to shading and highlights and stuff like that. So that's why I'm doing it the way that I'm doing it, and not necessarily in an order that makes a whole heck of a lot of sense. There's that, and then I'll use sidewalk color for these window panes. I'll even put it here and here and here. Why not there? And that, and that. Actually, I'm just going to import. I'm going to import the palette directly from that scene because there's a few colors that are straight up missing. So yeah, this is 11B palette library. Does Zim, I don't know. There's a few palettes this could be. Let's try Town. Is that it? Was that the one? Might have been. Yes. No. Maybe. I don't know if that was it or not. Heck. Take a brief detour. I'm gonna go over there and see what color palette I actually used there, because I want it to remain internally consistent, but my gosh, choosing these palettes can sometimes be a real pain in the butt. Okay, let's open it up and see what we can see. Right. Okay, where is the background layer for these things? Okay, so we're talking about which one are we talking about here? B, background building. No, that's the ones. Here we go. Is this the layer? This is the foreground buildings. What about background buildings? Or this? Trash. The problem is I have so many layers here. It's hard to decipher which ones go where. I should. Oh, background buildings too. This is it. So, what? Let me get the color dropper. What color palette I'm working with? Environment 01 City. That's what I've called it. Alright. Well, how about I go through here and label some of these? Like, well, I guess, yeah, there's a few of these that are just weird. Okay, we're going to call this Dim Window 2. Put that there. And what color goes to this? Nothing showing up. Alright, maybe it goes to a different layer. Maybe it goes to the primary buildings over here. Is there anything here that stands out? No? Okay, I'll leave it unnamed. All the different layers that I work with. I mean, it works, you know. Hey, Sharpie the Crocodile, hello! Welcome back to the live stream! Let's see, what about you? Yeah, okay, so these are lit windows 2. Okay. And the rest can be figured out on its own. Right, so let me rename this to city environment. And let's open that other one back up. Open reset. Let's go to production 12 for the scene that we're working on. And here, let's bring in the palette. So here's where we're at. Let me just get rid of the colors for now. And let's palettes. Let's import it. And frames. No. It's under here. Out library. Environment 01 city. That's the one. Yeah. Sure. Okay, so here's the one we're working with. Yes, this is it. Okay, we're back in business. So, let me just, as I was saying earlier, let me just color these all in flat colors. Painted. There we go. I'm referring to the previous shot right here. If you can see, I'm referring to this for my, so I know what colors I'm working with, so it stays consistent between images. Thank you. I'm glad you like it. Thank you very much. It's a lot of work, but I love it. It's fun. It's a fun hobby. And let me see here. Okay, so the top windows are actually dim. Good to know. Let me pull that back up. All right, so since those top windows are dim, I might as well make the color palette I have here reflect that. There's no sense in having them not be dim. There. They're dim windows. Like that. Yep, and then I can adjust the opacity like so. I'll adjust the gradient. I meant to say gradient, not opacity. There. Boo! Ah, you scared me. You've been animating as of late? Alright. Cool. Good to hear. What have you been animating? Okay, that's good. Flat colors for that. Stucco 1 and 2. Let's see, one is lighter than the other. I think I'll use wrist 1 for this. Oh, right, and I almost forgot. This needs to be connected. Good thing I caught that. That work. And then I can just get rid of these. I'll leave it alone. Like I said, this is only going to be on screen for like a few seconds anyways. Group called Soapy Waffles. Oh yes, I used to hang out with them. I used to, talk to them and stuff once in a while. And yeah, Soapy Waffles, I know about them. Help them finish it, so you track them down. You're actually in talks with Sarah and Rose? That's their names, right? Talos Sarah and Talos Rose? They still are working on it? Yes, I'm so glad to hear that. I thought they gave up completely or like moved on. Like, heck, I'm tempted to do that with my Invader Zim fan film that I'm working on. Not this, but the other stuff I'm working on. Okay, sweet! Hey, that's really awesome! Well, congrats and good job working on it in a style. They said they could join... Yes! Oh, that's so exciting! Oh, I'm so glad to hear that. That's good, because the Invader Zim fandom needs, like, activity and stuff to keep it going. I enjoy seeing fandom activity staying up. And Soapy Waffles, yeah, my gosh, I'm glad they're still going. I really am. Sweet. That's awesome. They said they'll finish it this year? Dude, yeah. Now I'm really pumped up. Oh my gosh. Well, that is something to definitely be looking forward to. I'll keep my eyes peeled for that. That's fantastic. Sorry if I blew out my microphone. I'm just really excited. I'm pumped up about that. Mopiness of Doom is not even one of my favorite unfinished episodes. But what it represents in terms of fandom, like a fan project that people are working on, that means so much. That means a ton. Here I am just cleaning up some stuff that I forgot to add in. They'd said they'll have you on the scene, not specifically Mobius and Doom because they have emotional ties to it, but you can help on future ones. They're planning on doing future stuff? Are you kidding me? That's fantastic. That is actually fantastic. Holy cow. I'm glad to hear it. I really am. That's great. Because I had given up completely on them actually working on it. Yeah. They're also working on 10 Minutes to Doom. Yes, I do remember them mentioning, I thought someone had said that, a rumor of that, or maybe it was a different fan group that was working on. I know there's a lot of fan groups within the IZ fandom. Okay, on their Facebook. I'll have to check that out again. It's been a while since I've actively checked on fan projects and stuff on Facebook. Usually I just use Facebook for posting crappy memes and stuff. But cool, alright, sweet. That is exciting. Oh my gosh. I'm all grins now. That's great. Okay, wait. I also need to add in some line work here. Doesn't technically have to follow the perspective, but it should generally be close enough to count. Cool. And then why do I feel like I did something stupid? Okay, you know what? I'm just going to create a new color here. This is what I mean when I say my color palette's a complete mess. It's cause it is. Okay, hang on a second. Let me get back in here and select this color at the proper thing. Oops. Can't I, here, color dropper. There, okay. And now brighten it up a little. We can call this, make it a little more pink. We'll call this window 1. I don't know. I went through all that trouble of labeling it properly in the other. You know what? I'll go back to that other scene real quick. No, I won't. I actually won't. Because I've already worked too hard on this and I don't want to restart the coloring a third time. That would be ridiculous. I'm curious how you would compare your current art style with your first art starting your life. Would you rank your first arts as good ones? No, this is way better. No way. RP. I have improved much. I am so much better off now than I was when I first started. Let's dim some of these windows down now. Cool. There. Now that's a nice variety there. My favorite unfinished episode is The Trial, by the way. That is hands down my favorite. I love it to pieces. All the lore and stuff you get about the Urkins and all that. Even if most of it is just nonsense that Jonan and them would probably forget about in the next few minutes. I think it's cool. I think it's really cool. It's very heavily Irken focused, and I like that. Alright, let's get this building lit up properly with a texture gradient. You finished your thing in a day? Sweet. For your animation clip? That's fantastic. Congrats. Keep motivated. That's some good stuff. Yeah, too much lore. Yeah, right. Of course, of course. We didn't deserve it. No, of course not. Jonan and Zim would have been too kind to include that. Anyway. Now, for these back buildings, as I was previously saying, it doesn't really matter what they look like, because there's not a lot of detail going into them. They'll just be on camera for a few seconds, and that's it. A quarter of a second. No one's even going to be paying attention to it. So I can get away with this, basically. Minimal detail, maximum just color blocks. You know, just splash that around. Maybe this will look cool, yeah. And then now that we're getting further forward, we get a good look at what is actually a building here. So maybe we'll do this for this building's main color. Maybe this building's main color looks like that. And maybe this building's main color is this. Maybe this is it. Give that, add that in there. I'll add some dim windows here and there. Too much of a pattern. Cool. And we'll line them up with, where was that other color? Yeah, down here. I'll have some variety with that. No, too dark. I'll add this as variety. There we go. And then for doorways, I mean, heck, we could just give you this, and then that. Like I said, it's only going to be on camera for like a quarter of a second. It doesn't really matter. As much as I am sad it was canceled, I feel like it might have made the community stronger. Yeah, no, I think I agree completely. Fan-created content after the... Yeah, fan-created con after 10 years after the show has ended. Voice actors were able to read the script. Yep. No, exactly. We got the entire revival of it later on. Plus, Nickelodeon didn't get a chance to milk it dry and like, turn it into something stupid. Yeah, tons of different fans working on multi-animator projects. Left, right, and center, honestly. And it's no official recording, so the multi-animator project looks really cool. Yeah, I remember that, yeah. Really, really cool stuff. It is. It's genuinely interesting and really, it's a good payoff to all the fans who've waited so long for something like this. And also, what color? Hang on. What color is this secondary? Okay, it's just the brick color. Right. All right. I think. Yeah, it is. Okay, and then that can go there. Cool. That doesn't even matter. Heck, get rid of this now. No, I'll leave it just in case we need a perspective line later. Just in case we need it for reference. Dim windows. Yep, hang on. I need to have you dimmed out. Very good. We need the yellowish, grimy sort of gray paneling. Cool. I'll do the same for this door handle. Actually, the door handle, I will make it slightly different. green, white. I'll do that for the door handle. And make it more dull on the main frame of it. And then the door itself... Okay, yeah, no, that's not gonna work. There, that's good. Okay, I'll use that as the door color. Alright, now let's test this out as far as flats go. And then I'll check out your chat in just a second. I want to test this. Yeah, perfect. See, it looks good. Oh wait, and let me get off. Let me focus it so that it's in the right layering there. Yeah, looks fine to me. And then when we pan up, it gets out of the way. Good. It sells the illusion. That's perfect. As much as I like to see an in-style trial, the map trial is more fun to watch because it's super connected. Anyways, animating, so all good. Take your time. Epsilon. Hello! Welcome back to the live stream. I am doing stuff. I told you I would work on the... it's no big deal. told everyone that I'd be working on the environments and trying to get them done. And I was half right. I at least got everything blocked out. But I did need more time for detail work and stuff. So that's what I'm doing now. As you can see, these buildings back here are completely blank. These ones I just got done with. And that's the long and the short of it. Alright, so I guess the next thing for me to do actually would be to go ahead and tinker with these buildings. After I grab a cup of coffee. Very good at replicating other art styles. When I made the animation to show Soapy Waffles, I never actually animated in that style before. I just had a lot of confidence. Confidence is important. A lot of people lack it, and it actually holds them back. Anyways, yeah. I'm going to be right back. I have got to get a cup of coffee real quick so I can, take a short, less than a few minutes breather. And then I'm going to work on recreating these buildings into these buildings right here. All right, so I'll be right back. I'm back. Did you miss me? Hang on, let me get the live stream thing switched back. I will enjoy my coffee, thank you. All right, intro. Where's the stream button? There's the stream button. Hey, I live. Okay, so let's see. What was it that I missed in the chat real quick? Just had a lot of confidence, so I didn't get more experience learning specific style. Just using the show reps I could find, but I really like to course on learning how to better copy the show style. Yeah, honestly, experimentation is the way to go. That's how I managed to replicate the show style, was just tinkering and messing with it and stuff, and lots of practice, lots of trial and error here. I'm gonna... Oh, thank you. Welcome back. Yes, thank you. Okay. Oh man, this is gonna be fun. Okay, so why did I do this to myself? What purpose could I have had for doing this to myself? My word. Okay, we're in it. We're committed. This is probably gonna. I'm gonna let you know now. The rest of the live stream is probably gonna be me working on detailing these buildings. But that's all right. That is A-okay. So building number 2. Yep, here they are. So first of all, what I need to establish is where the sidewalk. Yeah, so right here is where the sidewalk comes up on them. So yeah, because they go down below the sidewalk and hide it partially, so I kind of need to know where it lines up when I'm drawing the details, just to make sure I get it at least close, if not spot on. So let me just put actually, you know what I could do? Hang on, let me copy. Where's the sidewalk here? Let me just copy it. And paste it in directly over top, and then line it up. Oh, it's freezing. Ow! I hate when that happens. Oh well. Tips for backgrounds? You can do taking screenshots from the shows for references. That works. Stylized, very stylized, yeah. The perspectives are always warped, like you can see here with what I'm doing. I always use warped perspective grids whenever I feel it necessary, and a lot of the times it is. They almost never do normal perspectives or anything like that, as you can see here with what I'm doing. So that's one thing you can pay attention to. Another thing is if you think that you've done... There's a fine line between over-detailing it and doing just enough detailing. The whole city turning around him as he talks, yeah, that's a really good good background. Okay, well, not to get sidetracked, but I have to show this. So you're talking about Invader Zim background. No, I can't show it. I don't know where I have it stored. Never mind. I was going to talk about something specific, but I don't actually have it for reference. And if I don't have the reference for it, it would be really hard to explain. So I'm actually not going to. Sorry. Warped backgrounds. It's a lot of trial and error and practicing. Straight up, I just practice, and then practice some more. And you just have to enjoy drawing the artwork. You have to actually enjoy doing it. You can't just, half do it and then view it as a chore and then never do it again or anything like that. You have to actually love getting in there, getting it done. Otherwise you're going to run out of patience pretty quickly. And that's not going to work out. It's just not. Anyways, let me pull up my other reference for the previous shot I did. A lot of the background city stuff makes sense. Yes. Well, okay, here's the gist of it. Okay, for example, quick example before I go on. I can't believe I'm doing this. Quick example. So, Urkin buildings, and this is not applicable to stuff on Earth, but Urkin structures and stuff. For me, I start out with a normal box shape. Let's say this is the Urkin building. Okay, we want this to be Urkin, not human, right? So let's assume let's add a little jut out right here on the side. Maybe this is all basic shape stuff, right? So none of this is actually gonna show up in the final product. This is just basic structures and stuff. And some of you might know where I'm going with this because I've done it before. But let's pretend that this is another bobbly bit off to the side here. If you look at the fry cook, what came from all that space, you will see, you can look at a lot of the backgrounds to see silhouettes of Urkin's buildings, but basically here I'm just sort of roughing it. So let's pretend this is our basic structure, right? Well, here's the thing. You have Urkin buildings. They have a lot of organic, sort of weird, wavy lines and stuff through them, but it's like often people will wonder, well, how can I possibly do that? How am I supposed to replicate that in my fan art or whatever it is I'm doing? Well, after you've created some very rough basic shapes, you can sort of, for example, this corner right here, let's take a chunk out of it. Let's literally just carve a piece out of it. Boom, it's gone. And now suddenly this corner is more of a rounded angle, like that. And let me change these to a different color so I can better illustrate what I'm about to do here. So after you've done that, what I like to do is go in there and fill the interior with a bunch of, pretend you're filling it up with a bunch of rounded sort of shapes and stuff. Some of the best shots in the show, at least in your opinion. Yeah, it does. So, let me see here. So, you know, Urkin stuff always has a bunch of rounded shapes. Instead of this being a straight up square, let's recreate it, but with like a little bit more rounded corners, you know? Maybe, you know, this curves like this curves this way. Ah, it's suddenly looking a lot more alien. This curves up. And there's an art, it's not an exact science, like you sometimes have to have sharp angles. But for my part, I'm just gonna make it all, you know, curvy and wavy and whatnot, like that. Now let me get rid of the red here. Okay, so this is another basic line, and it looks terrible because I'm just rushing right now. But okay, so what can we do here with this basic design to turn it into an Urkin-looking building? Well, what do they like? They like having their tubes, right? So where would be a good spot for tubes? Well, I'm picturing right here would be a good spot for a tube to come out because it sort of looks like a curved sort of curly thing. So we have this, like so, and bada bing, bada boom, maybe that tube comes out into the ground for whatever arbitrary reason. I mean, it doesn't have to make sense because it's the Urkin stuff. They love their tubes. My gosh, if you draw an Urkin building, you've got to have tubes somewhere because if you don't, what are you doing with your life? Like I said, very rough, just to get the idea across. What else? Oh, here's a fun one. What if we have a piece right here that's sort of floating off the top? So let's again draw like a box shape. Let's box it in first, roughly. Like we would if we were just drawing a boxy sort of thing. And then let's go back over it. I should have done that in red so it'd be easy to erase. Let's go back over it. Like with a bunch of curviness this time instead of straight up box shape. Boom, now we have that floating off the top of it. We can give a slight crease here maybe to indicate detailing, to indicate like where it curves. Maybe it'd be more like that. Yeah, it doesn't quite go all the way just to show that it's more rounded and stuff. Yeah, blobs. Tubes, yes, you guys are getting it. You've drawn Urkin buildings. You hear me? Yeah, you get what it comes down to and stuff, right? Let's add another little knob off the edge here so that it reflects. It sort of mirrors and mimics the bigger one. Windows. We gotta have windows. I've noticed a lot of Urkins like their round sort of windows, so maybe a row of round windows here. Maybe. Let's draw another row of windows, but this time we'll make it slightly off kilter, you know, sort of like that. That's the frame for the windows here. And there's no harm in adding some straight lines once in a while like this. Nothing wrong with that. Just don't overdo it or else it'll look too human, you know. Oh, here's another one, the stitch work. Let's not forget the stitch work. So if we draw like that, so what I did there is I basically followed the general curve of it, kind of felt along the surface. If I know that might not make sense, but when you're drawing, you sort of basically feel the overall shape of what you're working on top of. And I traced along that, and then I dropped a few of those little stitchwork patterns that the Urkins like to have there. And then right here, this looks like another good spot for a tube. So let's have a tube drop down. Maybe it sags down and comes back up like this. So then the tube art would look like that, and that, and that, and that, and that, and that, and that. And I could keep going. I could keep going with the detail work and stuff. So like I could do this right here, maybe give it a ridge up at the top here, so it looks like it's some sort of cap. And you know, I could just add on to it as much as I feel is appropriate. Heck, maybe even some lines that come off the top and come up here, almost connecting. There's another thing that I've noticed about Urkin stuff: when it goes up and almost touches, but then veers away at the last minute. That's a lot of stuff that I've noticed about their tech and all that jazz. All right, there's an Urkin-looking building. It's more of an art than a science, though, so make of that what you will. But there was my one tip I was going to give for Invader Zim specific stuff. Yeah, and oh, thank you, Sharpie. No worries. Glad. Entertained. Currently been working on a Zim fan project for a month. All that's been on my mind is stuff like this. Oh yeah, Absalon, a really nasty leather wallet you bought from a few years back. That can look pretty Urkin, I bet, depending on how dinged up it is, right? Yeah, think of it like a 3D model, and blobby, very blobby. Humans, very bricky. Urkins, very blobby. Not always. I mean, there's always points and bits and stuff that are actually sharp edges, and it's not a universal rule, because sometimes human buildings have round bits on them. But it's just a general rule of thumb, and now I gotta get back to work on this. So, let me do that. Yep. Okay, so, back to work here. 5 thickness, consistent line thickness for this. Let me connect you here, and here, and bend you down. I could draw that in, but I just am so lazy, and I feel like it's easier to just bend it in like that. Oh, that's what I was gonna do. See, that got me distracted. I needed to draw in the sidewalk first to demonstrate where the sidewalk is on this. So we're just gonna say the sidewalk is, we're gonna draw it slightly below where it actually is. That way, when I am drawing, I don't leave anything unaccounted for. There. And when the camera pans up later on, yeah, because when the camera pans up, it shows more of the groundwork right there. So we can safely say that at its maximum, it's actually showing all this. And in fact, I should bring that down slightly just to make sure. Ah, hey, come back here. Okay, I should bring that down slightly just to make sure it's showing everything. Okay, that'll be my frame of reference. So now I see this. Now I see where the camera's eventually going to wind up panning to. So I do need to make sure that this is considered ground level. Because what could happen? What if I drew, like, let's pretend I was drawing right here. Let's say we pretend this is the door, and let's say these are a few windows and stuff. If I did that, then when the camera pans and stuff and looks up, first of all, it's going to be like, you know, see where the sidewalk is right here. Well, when the camera starts panning, we're going to see the door levitate into the middle of the air like that because of the perspective. So I can't do that. I can't use that as the base reference. I have to account for whatever the maximum amount of exposure it's going to get. You usually abstract Urkin building those round shapes with tubes and spikes. Very good advice. I don't know if this would be on some scenes, background characters drawn by you. Oh yeah, yeah. Sharpie, the crocodile. Yep. Okay, Screaming, now I will answer your question in just a second, but Sharpie the Cry. Oh, yeah, Epsilon just answered it. Yeah, I can show you real quick. I don't know if this would be... Some shots will have background characters, just to add more life into them. Yeah, this is so... I'm working on 2 projects here. I'm working on Invader Zim. I'm working on Invader Zim, the Doom movie, which is a fan-animated feature-length film that I've been working on since 2013 or 2014. I'm not sure what direction that's going to go. Probably will wind up being a multi-animated project because I have all the audio. I just need to assemble it from all the voice actors that helped out and volunteered and stuff. But then this is a separate project. This is an adaptation of It Feeds on Noodles, which is an unfinished Invader Zim episode that my wife read a fan fiction of and really loved the fan fiction. So she wanted to turn it into an animated project, and I decided I'd help out with the animation. So the audio is pretty much all done for that. I'm just working on the background and stuff. Typically I'd like to take the background characters from the show, if I could, but if for some reason I can't, like if it's in a different, like if it was a cowboy was needed in the background for some reason, and there isn't a cowboy referred to in the show, I would just try to make them match the show's style as close as possible so they don't stand out like a sore thumb. Oh, you like the script? Yay! I'm glad to hear that. So, anyways, actually, yeah, real quick, why don't I just show you what I've done so far, and maybe it'll give me a chance to continue working real quick.
Come on, guys,
This is
you
It
promised.
Feeds on Noodles.
You remember? I did your choice for a week and let you pick the restaurant twice. We agreed you let me pick this time. Besides, it's not my fault Bloaties is temporarily closed. I'm not the one who called the health department.
I know you didn't. That's why you're still breathing. But if I ever find out who did, they are going to pay.
And I'm paying, so I should pick the restaurant.
You found money in one of Dad's coat pockets in the closet.
A coat he hasn't used in months. Besides, if I didn't, we'd still be fighting over that one orange in the fridge. I can't believe Dad forgot to get groceries again this month.
I can. Fine. I guess it's better than nothing.
This looks like a pretty good place. A little weird looking, though.
You think everything is weird.
Wasn't this place smaller on the outside?
Good evening. How would you like to try our succulent special? Everything delight. It has everything in it.
Okay.
Splendid. One of everything delight. Tinkle, tinkle, tinkle.
Okay, maybe that's a little weird.
Thank you. Was that so hard to admit?
Don't let it go to your head. Just pay the man.
Oh no. This order is a free. On the house. Special one-day promotion. Thank you. Come again.
Cool. Free food. Let's go home.
Boy, this bag is heavy.
Hey, glad you guys like it so much. And yeah, my wife Lisa, she's voicing Gaz there, and a friend of ours is voicing Dib and the mysterious waiter. And soon enough, as you can probably imagine, soon enough you'll get to hear the guy we have voicing Zim, a very talented man by the name of Gordon, and I don't remember his last name, so please, if you're watching, I'm sorry. But yeah, when he comes onto the scene, I'll link to his YouTube channel. I'll link to everyone's YouTube channel and stuff when that time comes, because I want to start crediting the voice actors in the stream. But yeah, we're really excited for this. Love the spider legs, yes, the creepy spider legs. Lost the rough draft and gave up. Oh, that's unfortunate. Why did you kill him? Research made a playlist all the internet. IZ interviews I could find, and you found some pretty obscure ones. Ah, cool. That's very good. This project has at least almost 3 minutes. Yep. Yeah, it's probably gonna come out to around 20 minutes total when we're done, according to the rough audio. According to the audio. So we're pacing right along just fine. It's a good, it's a fun hobby basically for us, a hobby project sort of thing. It'd be nice if InvaderCon ever does happen again to actually present it there as a side booth or something. That I think that'd be pretty cool. Depending on what my wife wants to do, of course, because she is actually the one in charge after all. I'm just the guy. I'm doing the animation for it and getting her approval and stuff. Let's see here. Man, those comments are going fast. Hang on. One of those guys, okay. I call Rose. Goes to a lot of convention stuff. There's something very important about him. He sounds exactly like Dib. Now that's funny. Well, in one episode, Zim was controlling ants or something. Yeah, I forget what it was, but I remember something like that. Was it Simon Says Doom or something? I forget. I believe you, actually, Kanoda37. I believe you. I have a voice actor for Dib for my Invader Zim project. He's different from the guy that's voicing Dib for my wife's project, It Feeds on Noodles. But he sounds almost exactly like Dib in my estimation. You can find a lot of people that actually do a good Dib impression, believe it or not. It's crazy. Alright, I need to space these out a little, because that... The brickwork's not going to be 100% correct, but it'll be close enough. Now, the fun part, I'm saying very sarcastically. Gotta bend them all because I insisted on having a curved, warped perspective. So, this is just how it has to be. Oh well, it's no big deal. I might need to tinker it a little bit here and there, but for the most part, this should do it. You can do a decent Dib and voice impression. Cool, cool. A lot of people that do great impressions about this one guy. Yeah. You know, it's nice to brag on your friends and stuff, or people you know, when they can do a good impression of the characters. But they were copyrighted. Well, if that happens, it happens. We'll see how it goes. Cool. Yeah. He also does cosplays, LOL, that's funny. Alright. Well, if that happens... No. And... If it happens, it happens. I don't think it's a big deal, because... I mean, we'll still finish it for our own sake, just to have it, honestly. They can't stop us from making it, they'll just stop us from publishing it or something. Boom, there we go. And... Ah, wait. There. Sweet. And actually, the bricks should be a little closer together up at the top and further apart towards the bottom there. I'll leave that alone. Nice. Okay, so there's the brickwork done. Now, let me see here. So the brickworks go almost all the way to... Actually, they do go all the way to the bottom, and then they turn into longer bricks at the bottom. That's what I did there. So, yes. Actually, I could get away with just making this more of a straight lines at the bottom, and then gradually warping it as it goes further up. I think that would be cool looking. just because the ground sort of curves up, but the bricks at the top sort of curve down because of the perspective shift. So that might be the way to do it. Nice. Okay. What's next? Okay, yeah. I think next I will work on the bricks. So let me see here. Excuse me. Okay, let's start at the middle, which would be a straight line, I believe. Actually, where are all these vanishing points leading? Let me just rough in. So this would be like that. And this. Technically, it would be somewhere in the middle there, not down here. I just had to rough that in earlier so I would know what I was doing. There's another piece of advice I can give you. Don't be afraid to just sloppily get rough ideas in for what you're drawing, because that's totally fine. Actually, I would encourage it, because then it makes it so that it's easier for you to understand what you're dealing with, and it can give you a better grasp of what you're working with. Ah, that's funny. Oh, that's cool. It's fair use. Yeah, I don't think they would, because it's just anything happening. Or your poses where you make for a character's pose helps a bit. Yes, sometimes I do. Actually, sometimes I use 3D models that here, I'll just tell you. There's a language barrier, so I'm just going to say it. Sharpie the Crocodile. Yes, sometimes I do. I often also use 3D models that I make on my computer to help me pose characters. I do that a lot too. But in this instance, I don't need to. I've gotten so used to drawing Div and Gaz and all them that it's easy. This, however, is going to be complex. So let's count how many bricks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31 lines. All right. 31 lines. Let's see if we can put that many in here. I doubt it, but we'll see. I could actually cheat a little bit here. Hang on, it's better to work smarter, not harder. I've said this before and I mean it. So let's see here. Get rid of this. Let's just temporarily delete these. Let's bring in, let's trace the line art here. So you would run from here to here, like this. Yeah, roughly like that. And then you would run from here to here, about in the straight line. Actually, that is a straight line. That's supposed to be the middle of the perspective grid, so this is the center. I can keep that in mind. Actually, that's why this vanishes to a point down there. Aha! Now I remember. Okay, so here, you can come down to here. Let's make you match. Good. And now with the magic power of Toon Boom Harmony's morphing feature, I'm basically going to create a transition zone between these two lines so that I can populate it with a bunch of lines that go between it. Might not work from the start, it might need some tweaking, but usually this can help me tremendously when it comes to doing perspective grids. So let's see. Yep, see, it's going to create grids right here across this. So let's see here. Morphing. Let's try convert morphing to drawings. We'll call this brick grid. All right, so now that I've established this, cut, paste, cut, paste. So much easier than drawing them by hand. I advise that you work smarter, not harder, whenever you can. And I just determined how many I wanted by spacing it out by that many frames. Yay! Okay. That's going to be so much easier to work with. Boom! Okay. Let's get rid of you now. And if I need to do that again, I will further down the road. Ah, you're coming round, folks. Cool. Cool channel shout out. Normally I don't like people shouting out channels, but you're keeping it on topic relatively, so I guess I'll let it slide. Oh, hey, what's the top here? Okay, that's just a solid, it's like worth a few rows, but I'll just do one. I'll do like 2 or 3. No, I'll do one. Yeah, I'll do one. One solid row here. This part's gonna be tedious, guys. Sorry in advance. Yeah, that's all I can say. Sorry in advance for how tedious this next part is gonna get. Oh boy. But it's still way easier than hand drawing all those bricks by myself without actually having anything to refer to. 1, 2. I'll get rid of 3 bricks every row here. 1, 2, 3. Like that. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I had someone, believe it or not, I had someone a while ago who actually did do that. They were like trying to spam this random Mexican Spanish language cartoon show called Villainous, and they literally wouldn't shut up about it, and that's all they would talk about, and they would tell me to react to it and watch it and stuff, and it was so irritating. Gosh, I am sorry, like for those of you who watched my live streams before, I'm sorry to keep bringing that up, but my gosh, that was so annoying. I think it's one of the only times I actually got mad on stream. All right, there, sweet. Okay, so we have that, and now we can actually do brickwork. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm just deleting the lines where it's not supposed to be there. Yeah, and we're making bricks. Fun, right? So very fun. I don't know why I subject myself to this, but it's all in the name of detailed art. And as you guys know, Invader Zim's backgrounds are super ridiculously detailed. So yeah, it kind of checks out. I wouldn't do this normally. I wouldn't subject myself to this, but I already established it in the previous shot with all these bricks and stuff, so I kind of have to do it now. And normally I would just copy and paste from the previous background to save myself some time and save myself the energy. But the perspective on this isn't straight on like it was in the other shot. So since it's a curved warp perspective, this kind of does have to be drawn from scratch. Which is fine. I mean, it gives me a chance to talk to you guys. So yeah. That's annoying. Yeah, stream though. Yeah, I don't know how small the streams are, that wouldn't happen, but I guess that's something that happens to everyone. Yeah, it happens once in a while, right? Whatever. I'm over it, it doesn't matter. So, you guys play any cool video games lately? Oh, Iron's a real deal too. I heard someone say that they never reuse shots. No, not if they can help it. That was one of the, I don't want to harp on it too much. That's one of the things I was disappointed about in Enter the Florpus. Enter the Florpus, for the record, not my favorite Invader Zim story. I hate to say it, but like, you know, I didn't think it was all that great. I mean, it was cool, but like, you know, it's not the best. But one of the things that did bug me about it, the backgrounds weren't as ridiculously convoluted and detailed as they normally are in the show. Which is fine, because they're probably working smarter, not harder. They're probably doing it better. It's probably for the best. But I prefer the grime and grit of the original show and how ridiculously detailed and stuff everything was. Maybe that's just me. Maybe I'm being biased, but, you know, that's my personal opinion. Binding of Isaac. I have some that I love, but I've been playing some Warhammer 40,000 games, namely Warhammer 40,000 Mechanicus. My wife got that for me on the Nintendo Switch, and I am having a blast playing that. And also, she and I play Left 4 Dead 2, Risk of Rain 2, and 7 Days to Die once in a while. Those things are pretty fun. Like Florpus, but it's a little too simplistic in the art department. It's still good though. Right, the reason they slimmed it down and made it more simple is so that it would be more fluid, right? Specifically the color palettes. Yeah. Okay, Sam, so what did Jonan have to say about that? Please enlighten me. I can't talk today. Yeah, so what was the choice there with the color palettes for the backgrounds and making it more rich, actually, more colorful and less grimy and dingy? Hello, yes, hello, Nefix Nico, welcome to the stream. And yeah, they are really gorgeous in Invader Florpus, which is why I didn't like them as much. They aren't as revolting. Basically, he didn't want to make them look nicer, but the thing is that when they go through the Florpus, they really wanted to suddenly change it a lot. And in the show, it's normally red and stuff. Yeah, normally lots of reds and stuff, and grime and grossness everywhere. So yeah. Okay, gotta just keep doing this. Mind numbing brick fighting. Couldn't just go from red to red, so he brightened it up so the change mattered. Ah, okay. So he was dead set on the Florpus color palette being red, so in order for that to be more contrasty, he made Earth's normal colors more normal. That makes sense, actually. He did say he didn't like how much they smoothed out Gaz. I hated that so much! I despised that with every ounce of my being. Gaz looked too smooth. She didn't look pointy enough. With the smooth rounded hands and everything, and I don't know, I never liked the comic styles either personally. My sincerest apologies to the wonderful talented people who actually work on the comics and do a lot more with their lives than I am right now, but I did not like the comic art style, and I did not like Invader Florpus's art style compared to the normal show's art style. Blue Skies Eagle Eyes go, I know I wanted this, but... Yes. Oh no. I wanted this, but what have I done? Nah, I definitely prefer the grime and grit from the original show. But you know, hey, it is what it is. You deal with what you gotta deal with. Yes, in the show, her hair was a bear trap. I have compared Gaz's hair to a stapler remover on several occasions. That's how it was much better, personally. No spoilers for comics, by the way. I haven't read them. Okay, I'm not spoiling anything about the comics, but I didn't like the art style in the comics. It's very similar to Enter the Florpus, not the same. And they have guest writers on once in a while that change up the style. Some I like better than others. But the default comic style they developed for it, and I'm not the biggest fan, personally. 2 claws now? Mixed on the comics. Yeah, I mean, And the storylines in the comics were sometimes hilarious and great, and sometimes, a lot of times actually, I just did not like. Actually, funny enough, anytime it was Jonan writing the story for the comics, because he liked having guest writers on, you know? Anytime it was Jonan in charge of the stories, and I wouldn't know it was him, I would never read the credits till afterwards, but I found myself liking the ones that Jonan made a heck of a lot more than the guest writers. I don't know if that's biased subliminally or what, but I thought they were much better when Jonan was the one writing the comic issues and stuff. Much more funny. Yeah. The only reason they made a change Gaz's design from goth to normal is because back in the early 2000s, goth meant something different than what it did now. Yeah, but honestly, I think they should have just left it, man. I mean, it's Gaz. Everyone knows Gaz. Gaz is Gaz. It's Gaz. It's Gaz. It's whatever. I mean, you know, Joan's the one in charge after all. I know for a fact Invader Florpus is exactly what he intended it to be, for the record. I mean, because he had full creative licensing there. It was Jonan unrestrained. But I think Invader Zim personally is at its best when Jonin is a little bit restrained. And I hate to say that because it makes me sound like a real arrogant piece of work. But that's my personal opinion. Like, notably in season 1 of Invader Zim, I prefer a lot of the stories from there. I prefer the wettening, germs sort of stuff, as opposed to Vindicated and Bad Rubber Piggy, or not Bad Rubber Piggy, Gaz Taster of Pork. Most Horrible Xmas Ever leaves a lot to be desired in terms of storytelling and pacing and jokes. I don't know. I feel like the writing's better when Jonin is held back a little bit, but for some reason the comics, that's the best. Maybe I'm just weird. I think I'm just weird, honestly. You should disregard what I'm saying. Her comics and bears are just not on my head. Yeah. Fun that Sarah and Anderson did one at all. Seeing the worlds collide was fun. Yeah, I could see that, because, yeah, very different tonal clash there. Backseat Drivers, fantastic. Fry Cookbook came from all that space, fantastic. They have some good ones. Don't mistake me for saying that everything in the latter half of the show was terrible. It's not, actually. The only episode that I actually do not like is Gaz Taster of Pork. Even the most horrible Xmas ever, I still enjoy. It's just not in my top 10. I find that if I were to analyze my favorite Invader Zim episodes, almost all of them would probably come from the earlier parts of the show. And I think that's just how it is. And also, look, I'm done with the bricks! Yay! More or less, yes. Not desensitized to it. Lyra watched the show 4 months ago. True. Comics are where Jonin's in his element, of course. That's where he got his start. So, of course, he would be dynamite with that. Oh, whoosh. Alright, bricks are dead. And now I can just replicate the windows and stuff. So what do we have? We have that. I'm gonna cheat a little bit. No, I'm not. Yes, I am. No, I'm not. I'm not. Excuse me. False alarm. I'm not going to cheat. Everyone who is excited for me cheating, sorry. No, I'm not going to cheat. I'm just going to use this as reference. So what do we have? We got like 3 windows, then 2 doors, then 2 more windows. I can make that work. And the 2 doors are in the middle of the building, so let's see. That's like, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 6, 5, 4. This would be the middle right here. Okay, so the doors are right here. How high up do they go? About like that. And yeah, I'll do this. Actually, do I still have the one thing on my clipboard? I do! Oh, okay. I can just use that. Okay, cool. I never copied and pasted anything else. Alright, cool. I should save this as a perspective grid, actually. Let me just hide it, and we'll hold on to that in case I need it later. I should not get rid of that. That would be a very stupid thing for me to do. Alright, so anyway. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I could eyeball it, but I'm not going to. 17, 18, 19, 20. Actually, I'm just so indecisive. Let me see. 2, 3, 4. Okay, so here. Right here is the middle for future reference. Boom. Okay, that's where the doors are. So this line right here represents the middle of the doors. Let me just mark it out. Okay. Right. So now with that having been established, I can just work with the rest of it easily. Okay, yeah, chat's going by. Sorry. I stick by I Feel Sit is technically better than IZ, just its concept isn't as cool. Fair. I haven't read it yet, and maybe I should check it out sometime. Even if it's not my cup of tea, I totally could. I like it because it's stupid. Totally get the hate. Love all the episodes. Some of them are just more memorable than others, I think. The entire show is stupid, man. You gotta embrace it. Gaz Taster of Pork has a unique brand of stupid that doesn't jive with the rest of the show. I feel like there's a rhythm to the stupidity in the rest of the show, though. Like, there's a certain rhythm and pacing and timing, comedic timing to the rest of, a lot of the rest of the show that Gaz Taster of Pork feels like rushed, I guess. The pacing feels a little rushed. To me, anyways. Walk of Doom, yes. Future did, pretty good. Fry Cook that came from space, yes. First episode, obviously. Horrible New Girl, yeah, that's good. The Wettening, I love The Wettening. Ultra Peepee is fantastic. Unfinished episodes, yes. Oh yeah. Ultra Peepee. I'm gonna just agree to disagree. I dislike Gaz Taster of Pork for writing reasons, not for world building reasons, just for writing reasons. If it was paced better, it would probably be among my favorite. Let's see. That being said, I gotta focus on the door here. I'm gonna spend all day not drawing a door and it's gonna drive me up a wall. So I did not intend for that pun either. I'm gonna spend all day drawing a door and it's gonna drive me up a wall. Okay then, Stanley. Why do I say these things? Okay. Okay, groan. Just groan at that horrible pun. I didn't even mean to make that joke, by the way. It just happened. Okay, vertical lines. I am gonna have to. There's a few vertical lines I have to actually add in here. Okay. So let's hook this up to here. This will be the door handles. I'm trying to replicate what I can see in there as close as I can in the little reference image I have off to the side. So sorry if what I say is a little vague here. I'm just trying to do the thing that I'm doing the thing with. That makes sense, right? So there's part of the door frame. Let me just put that. There's the door handles. There's the door frame. Technically, it should be even lower. And I'll stretch that line all the way across the door because it lines up at the base of the handles. So yeah, let's just figure out where the door starts and stops before we do anything else. I'm going to say right here, just so I have room for more of the windows. 1, 2, 3, 4, bam, 2, 3, 4, done. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, it didn't go quite far enough. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5 is the middle. 4, 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, that's it. That's I think. 4. I did it again. Okay, go further, Stanley. 3, 4. Okay, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Thank you. Gosh, that is symmetrical. Okay, we're good. All right. Anyways, so I will also line up the door right there. I find vectorization tools are a lot easier than trying to draw it in some instances. Not all instances. Middle, that. All right, there we go. Cool. And boom, okay. Mission success. I have outlined that part of the door. I've outlined the doors. Okay, the doors. I've drawn the doors. Part of me that wishes I'd see what this movie or miniseries instead of the shape it actually took. That might have been interesting, you know? Like a map for the trial. I'm trying to keep up with chat, but my gosh. You guys are going to have to entertain yourselves part of the time. I can't keep up with chat. This is the fastest my chat has gone in a while. I'm kind of excited. What I liked about Invader Zim towards the middle and end, though, I will say this. I liked when they had bigger stuff going on in the background that actually progressed the overall background story of the Urkan Empire's conquest and everything. Meanwhile, stuff on Earth is basically stagnant and nothing is really progressing for Zim and Dib, which is fantastic. I think that's hilarious. I like that. I enjoy that immensely. Not that anyone asked, but that's my input. All right, so now what do we say here? 3 on one side, 2 on another. So 1, 2. Oh, we need that. Oh wait, we can do that. There's some windows there. Boom. 2. We can't fit 3 windows in. We're just going to have to cheat a little. It's just going to have to be 2 windows. But that's fine. No one's going to actually pay that much attention. No one tell. If you tell, I will be angry. Ah! No! I have a beautiful window. What have you done? You didn't connect. Why didn't you connect? Oh, I see. I didn't quite drag it to the vector point. That is a bit of a problem sometimes. Want more Irkin stuff? Yes. It's your fault for rambling a lot. We'll keep rambling, for the love of all things holy. Please continue to ramble, small child. I don't know. You are gone now. You perspective lines down below. Don't need you. Character development, it's just very subtle, like didn't sound like maybe Nirker is not good. I like that. I like, okay, small developments, but I mean like as far as progress towards conquering the Earth, Zim makes no strides. Which is fine. That's hilarious to me. No beginning of this cooling is good. Okay. Good. Active cheats are the best cheats. Yes. Or active chats. My gosh. I can't read today. Also, man, we've gone a while. Yeah, I'm not gonna stall and not progress during the week just for the sake of having something to do during the live stream. I am actually gonna try and get progress done during the week. So, yeah. I say that because the live stream is gonna have to end soon. I'm sorry. We have about a half hour left before I'm gonna call it because the wife is going to be hanging out with me later on. We're going to play video games with her brother and my brother and stuff. So, yeah! That's going to be fun. But also, that means I'll have to bring the live stream to a close. Nah, I don't like it. Okay. Once again, could you connect, please? Would that be a possibility? Could you connect? Thank you! Alright. So the next thing I'm going to do is outline where the window layer is going to be. So let's see. They're spaced about 1.5 bricks apart, and they go about how many bricks tall? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 rows. I'll make it 10 rows just so it's easier for me to count. Okay, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Boom. Yep. Skip 2. Here's the next row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Skip 2. Here's the next row. Keep the pattern going. Human buildings are very straightforward, but incredibly time-consuming. And yeah, last one up top. Okay, so I'll just make these go until they reach this second to last row here, and I'll just call that good enough. Technically, it's a continuity error. But this entire... It's not a professional... it's not professionally done. It's going to be riddled with continuity errors, but I don't think anyone's going to actually care or notice, in fact, unless they watch the archive of the live streams, in which case they will notice. They will notice so much. But the series in the days when I call it extinction. Yeah, you and I will say, Kenote, Queen at 37. You and I are very much opposites in that regard. I love my stuff being as close to canon as possible, so that I view fanfiction as ripe territory. What I enjoy in fanfiction is taking scenarios that could potentially happen in the series and seeing, well, how would the characters realistically react to this scenario? You know, and just like a mad scientist observing an experiment. That's the type of stuff I enjoy. Or like off Elseworld stuff that like fits the background of the show and matches the tone. I prefer that, but I mean, I get why people like the zany, more insane stuff too. I mean, I totally get it. Plus, I'm not the fandom police. Do what you want. Do what you want. Okay, wait. These are going to be really tall windows, but I think it works, honestly. I think it works for this because Zim is going to be looming up above in the shot. For those of you who were here last week, you saw how it's going to look, and it's actually going to work in its favor, I think, to make Zim look more imposing and menacing. So that's fine, because in this moment, Zim is looking so ominous and menacing just before he opens his mouth and starts saying some really stupid crap. There. Okay, now I just need to erase the inner lines of the windows, and we should be good. Yeah, just do what you like, right? Yeah, do whatever you want. Quanit. Thank you. Yes, I was having some troubles there. My bad, but thank you. I do appreciate you telling me how to pronounce it. Quanit 37. I will remember that for next live stream if you tune in next Sunday. I'm trying to do live streams more often because I want my channel to be more active. I feel kind of bad that that it was somewhat abandoned for a little while there. But, you know, I enjoy the live streams and chats and just hanging out with you guys. I love that stuff. Okay, cool. And not a moment too soon. We still have half an hour. My gosh, that's fantastic. So with this, let me try zooming out here and matching the patterns on these windows for what's lit up and what's not. I mean, it's not going to be perfect, but I'll try getting close enough that it doesn't really matter. So, yeah, let's see here. I'll use bright orange for the stuff that's active. So, 1, 2 there, 1 right there, 2 on the side here, 1 off center there, and only that one. Cool, and then, yeah, this can be for the dim windows, because it's sort of a dark purple burnt orange color. Good. And for the door down below, I have this color called Grime Gray 1. I think. Hang on. Maybe it's red gray. I think it's red gray with Grime Gray 1 on the underside. Yeah, that's it. Oh my gosh! An imperfection! Be gone with it. There. Okay. Sweet. So now we have this. Now we have this. Let me take all of the line art here that exists, turn it to red, and you'll see why in a second. And then cut it and paste it onto here. Good. And then I'll flatten it. Cool. And now I'll take all the red and turn it to the correct color. This was so that it actually still stays separate from everything else, so that if I need to tweak it later, I can. Building. Let's do the flat parts of it. Or the colors. We need red gray on the bottom 2 layers of bricks. And then the rest will just be normal brick color. So I'll just sloppily do that and get rid of the mess ups. And then this top row, I need to make some sort of pinkish purple brick color thing. I think that's close enough. Nah, it's not. I think I used sidewalk actually as the color there. Yeah, I did. All right, cool. Hey! And now, how does this particular building look when all is said and done? Yeah, it starts out down below. That can't be helped. Actually, let me go to the rest of them and fill them in solid colors real quick, just so that we can, just for the sake of getting a rough idea of how this looks. Cool. Okay. Sidewalk time. So, how does this look? Let's zoom in. It's gonna look a little weird, but that's to be expected. Oh, I love it. Okay. Also, it flickered out of existence there. We can't have that. That was just because the other frame was used to draw the bricks. Okay, sweet. So, nice. You guys talking about Invader Zim related shenanigans? Oh yeah, Epsilon's idea for an Invader Zim thing. I love it. It's very preposterous, but I love it. It's dark. I will say it's pretty dark, but it's also very funny. I find it hilarious. More equal footing. That's fair. What am I working on next? I should actually, you know what? I should work on this little random device, I guess, for lack of a better word, that I've placed up top here. I think I might just freehand it, actually. Let me draw on the underside. With line thickness of 5. Okay. And it's clear off to the side here. And I love them silly Invader Zim things. Plot is in service to it being funny. I like balancing them out a bit. But I don't like it being too serious, because then it's just too serious. I'll save the more serious stuff for my other fandoms like Warhammer 40,000 and Battletech, which I adore. There. Of course, you could always make it serious Invader Zim stuff, like you were saying, for the sake of doing something drastically different from the show because it's fan fiction and you can do what you want, right? So I could see people doing that, and people have actually. You know, that's partially why people love fan fiction like that. Of course, is because you get to see the characters act in a way they never would be able to in the normal show. I could see the appeal, even if it doesn't appeal to me. I definitely see the appeal in it. Just like Undertale, for example. I never liked Undertale, but I see the appeal. So just because I dislike something doesn't mean I can't see why people do like it. Okay, you can be here. I need this straight up. Yes, Zim dies. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, Epsilon, that's the idea with the comic title, with the title of it, is just that it's supposed to be really blunt and funny. Zim dies! Okay, wait, before we do much here, let's rotate these inward. Attention grabbing. It very is... attention grabbing, indeed. Put a little nubbin on the top. Oh, a novel. Ah, okay, gotcha. I've always been curious how to translate the humor from Invader Zim into a novel form or a written form because, well, that'd be kind of difficult, but I mean, I bet there's a way to pull it off. Just, it would definitely be challenging. There we go. Okay, we got a little doohickey drawn. I don't know what it does, but it's there. So, yay. Cool. Now for flat colors on it. And if I remember right, and I do, it was a case of grind gray going there and red gray going there and there. Very subtle differences, but they are there. Perfect. Okay, moving on. Zim dies. It's just a one-panel comic. The end. Very to the point. Very straight to the point. So, yeah, next I'm going to have to do another building. But I don't have time to do a whole other building. First of all, let's just review how this... I know what I can do. Okay, I'm going to draw the sky, because the sky is still its placeholder, and I don't like that. So, yeah, let's fix that. I can do that in the time we have left. I can make the sky look more actually how it's gonna look. So yeah, I'm gonna do like this, and I'll adjust the gradient later as needed. Then time for all the stars. There we go. Stars. Actually, you know what I could do? I'll make them a little bigger, and then I'll shrink them after the fact. Make some clusters here, there. I should just honestly make a star texture and then drop it in. That would save me so much time. But I'm not gonna do that. Nighttime sky. Something, yeah. Zim dies each one. First panel, dude stands in the comic? Oh, okay. Second panel, Zim space. First on the concrete. Fantastic. Okay. So here's all this. This big one is too big. Delete. That looks fine. So now that we have the sky drawn in, let's see how it looks. I mean, it looks fine. It looks totally presentable. All right, so now the clouds. Clouds, here we are. First of all, what I'm going to do is create a separate cloud drawing. And what I'm going to do then is scale them up in the secondary drawing to a ridiculous size. Smooth them out a bit. They're too big. I need to make them a little smaller, actually. The reason I'm doing this is that the smoothing process can change the way things are shaped. And it might look there. Sometimes it looks better. Not always, just sometimes. This is a good foundation anyways. I'll scale these back down to size. Place them roughly where they were. Get rid of the onion skin. And let's change their color actually, because there is a cloud color I'm working with here. Clouds here. And now for the magic. Let me crank the mega outline thing up. Color. Let's use the cloud color, of course. Invader Zim's clouds are known for being wispy sort of masses of things and stuff. Let's get it all messy in there. Trust me, there is a method to my madness. Okay, and then over here for the first part where it pans over, we'll just do like this. Flatten it all. Actually, no, we'll smooth it first, and then we'll flatten it. Okay, this probably will look pretty decent. Let's see how it looks when I have it all together. Oh, and once again, let's go to those background buildings and fill them in just for the sake of having something filled in, so that this shot is blocked properly just for now. And let's see how this looks. Oh wait, I forgot. The clouds, I forgot to change them over. Yeah, hang on. Hold the horses. There. Because I was working on a separate frame for that. Alright, take two. Looking nice. The sky stays too stationary though, so begrudgingly I'm going to move it out of the camera. Let me minimize this and reposition it so that it's actually a physical presence in the world and not just hooked to the camera at all times. And what we're going to do, rotate it so it's like this, and put that peg in the middle there. These green boxes show me where the camera is at all times, so that'll help. So this part, have that like that. Scale it up a little more. Maybe I'll change the shape of the stars here in a second. Now let's see how this looks. Much better as far as the angle goes. Yeah, that's way better. And now the only thing I need to do is actually take the sky background and adjust the gradient of it. Make it a little bit more brighter. A little bit brighter. Yeah, like that. How's that look? Let's see, where's sidewalk there? Yep. Oh, and I also need to move it up more. Okay, gotcha. Gotcha. Can do. I can fill these in with white real quick. And then scale it up. Cool. Let's see how this looks now, just so that there's no gaps showing. Actually, it's hard to see. I'm sure it's hard for you guys to see. The tallest are dead. That's amazing. Yeah, they had it coming. They had it coming. Yeah, Holliston Zim to die truly did for the thing to end. Something definitive has to happen, you know? Something definite. Okay, so now let me go back to my drawing of the sky here. Before I do anything else, let me reconfigure this. Because the stars are now too big and bulky, because I scaled everything up. I need to redo them real quick. And then what I'll do is render it so that we can see it with some blur effects and stuff. Okay. I'll use the detailing brush for this actually. Heck, why don't I just draw it as I see it on here? So like, some stars right there. Okay. Yep, that's the rough outline. And then when it moves over here, some stars right there up in that little crevice. And then I'll make a bunch of smaller stars once I have the basic outline of this blocked in. That way it actually works out. Gotta go probably? Ah, okay. Go ahead, you can talk about your comic. I don't mind. Knock yourself out. The live stream's almost over anyways. It's no big deal. Okay, I gotta block this in though, so I'm gonna be doing that at the same time. There we go. Okay. Pretty fine. Okay, I'm excited. Let's see what it is. Let's see. Comic, I was talking about using characters as templates. Now that's an interesting concept. Please elaborate. That's actually pretty cool. And work off of it to do whatever I want. Alright, alright. Finish the stream with a bang. Yeah, right? Come on. Let's hear it. Woo! Let's see here. Thought I had something saved on my computer that I needed to look up real quick. What did I have there? Oh, I can't find it. I can't find it anyways. Alright. Doesn't matter. What are you saying here? Thought it'd be fair if I do episode scripts where I try to make them in character, except has Zim has emo hair for no reason. Alright. Not at all, but it's funny to see the things he would say, but with a funny wig. Cool. I mean, that's funny. That sounds funny to me anyways. They steal a child? Alright. Why? And who's they? Alright. Sidewalk. Ah, I need to do this part of this guy now. All right, I have this sidewalk. Cool. All right, that's working out great. Now, can I figure out, for the life of me, which image has these horrible green squares on it? Oh, it's you. You're the culprit. Oh, there's multiple culprits, I see. Ah. That was just for planning purposes. I'm past that point now. Cool, we're done with it. Alright. There's the high school and all the other kids change appearance, but not Zim because he's an alien. He thinks people will notice. So he looks up teenage sheriff files and finds the emo thing because it was back then. Space animals are so cool. So we're hitting alien planet. Space whale. It's genius, yes, because it's Zim. He thinks everything he does is amazing. Why am I so amazing? That honestly sounds hilarious, Zim trying to blend in. Are you doing the thing where he grows in height, or personally I like it. I think it's funny when it's like when Zim doesn't grow with everyone else, so he's just sort of stuck very short, and everyone's just like he's short, and he has to blend in despite the fact that he's short, because he's American. He's already fully grown. At least I thought that would be funny. Not everyone thinks that's as funny, but I think that's hilarious. Okay, sidewalk. Funny. That's funny, people complimenting on the hair and stuff. Alright, and real quick, before we wrap up, let me do a test render so we can see how this looks. Thank you everybody so much for joining in. I love the short thing, but I have a plot here. Okay. Cool. message. I'll answer that later. Continue. We got like 6 minutes left or so, and stuff. Maybe closer to 5. Zim's real mad about it. He doesn't like paying monies. The Urkin's aging is just stunted so that they won't get taller than the tallest. Only specific people can age. Ah, that's the headcanon you're going with. Gotcha. Gotcha. No one knows, though. Ah. So why does Zim grow? Because he's a defective little insect. Ah, hey, sorry. Oh, sorry about that. I forgot that if I leave the mouse sitting unattended, I gotta fix that. But I have the thing set up where the mouse being unattended for too long, it basically switches over to the lobby view. My bad. Something that breaks Zim's pack because they disconnected him from the rest of the Urkin race. He is very mad about being taller. Wait, really? I would think he'd be happy with being taller, right? Because, you know, height, status, stuff in Urkin society. Alright, so this is almost done. And we'll get to see how it looks, roughly. We kind of have Dib not in view right now. But basically what happens is Zim, in this shot, Zim knocks him down. Actually, I can, before we do anything else, I can show you what this looks like, what this is going to look like, and then I'll show you what I have. Because I do believe I haven't shown you the rough render I've done. So here. Let's, so as you can see, the last shot we had was Zim diving after Dib. So in this shot, he hits Dib, Dib goes sliding, Zim lands in the background holding the fast food hat that he has now stolen from Dib. Dib dusts himself off, stands up, looks up, turns around, and then we focus in on Zim standing there with his spider legs, and he's just grinning his evil grin that you know he does and stuff like that he do. So once again, there's the rough animation I did when I was planning it out. And now, here's what we got so far. Dib lands, he's not drawn in yet, but then we pan up and he dusts himself off, then everything comes into focus with Zim looming up over him. Alright, I think it's looking good! I was happy about that. He's so mad about having a harder time fitting into different spaces. So he gets into, this is good actually, he just has a moment. Ah, that's funny. Good blurs. Thank you, yes. Gotta have the blurs. You can't not have blurs. Rack focusing makes the scene look all the more better, in my opinion. You guys, your ideas sound hilarious. I think you should pursue them. It's funny. And even if not everyone likes it, what matters is that you enjoy writing them. So go for it. That sounds hilarious. But now, I hate to say it, I gotta call it quits. So thank you everyone so much for watching. This has been quite a fun live stream. I do them every Sunday, roughly at the same time. I've been tinkering with it a little here or there, but hopefully by the time we come back, I will have been finished with the backgrounds and we'll be moving on to characters for this shot, or maybe even the shot could be done by the time you get back. I don't know. It just depends on what free time I manage to snag this week. So thank you guys so much for watching. Sorry, and I will see you later.